really excited. And it's sort of like truth serum because I haven't slept since Thursday. I was shooting all night and then got on a plane. And I still had like dried blood on me in the airport. And they were like, "Excuse me, ma'am, why are you covered in dried blood?" Because I missed some spots. So yeah, it's been kind of a crazy ride the last...
You're not still filming for this, are you?
No, something else.
Okay, all right. Well, let's jump in and start this one.
Well, is this your first visit to WonderCon?
It is. I've done Comic-Con. It's sister organization in the past. First WonderCon.
And so, what's your impression so far? I find it kind of seen this a little like Comic-Con light.
Comic-Con light.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, it's kind of a whirlwind. I actually want to get out there and explore, like maybe put on a Stormtrooper costume or something incognito and check it out. I hear there's a lot of good costumes, so I feel like there's going to be like a teaspoon of Burning Man out there, like homemade,
Maggie, this film set in the near future, or?
It's not really a specified year, but it's definitely a return to like sci-fi in space. It's not a dystopian ruined planet or anything like that.
Well, you seem to be attracted to the sort of fantasy. I mean, even Lost had that fantasy.
Yeah, it absolutely
is. Is that the kind of script that just sort of gets you excited, or is it just a coincidence you've been doing this and Twilight?
A little bit of both. I mean, one reason I'm thrilled to be at WonderCon today is Game of Thrones is here, and I'm a big fan. So I am a fan as well. Of genre, especially more on the fantasy side. But yeah, I think what drew me most to the script was the humor. Like, it's really a throwback kind of thing in a good way. It returned to action movies more like they were in like late 80s, early 90s. Didn't take themselves too seriously. It's a fun romp, and it's definitely an action sci-fi movie, but for me, more than anything, it was about this like really fun, sexually charged adversarial relationship between my character and Guy Pearce's character, and he's just this chain-smoking, dry, acerbic action hero, and nobody could do it better than Guy Pearce. Like, he's a wildly intelligent guy, and has a certain carriage and gravitas that really brought so much to our movie, and it's a lot of fun.
And what's the most challenging part of the action for you?
That part was fun. I wanted to do extra prep, like just in case I got some more combat in there, We actually put together a really fun. We had an amazing team. This French team, Patrick Cadonier, I believe. It's been a while. They were great, and they've done some great movies. So we did some training and put together a reel of things like just to have around, some extra. I remember I was paired with Vlad, who was like 6'5" Serbian dude, we shot in Serbia. So it was like me beating up Vlad, which was so believable, right? But it was good, and it was good to learn more than how to sell a punch, But a lot of work up on the wires for the green screen stuff in space, which was a lot of fun. A little trippy at first, it's probably the closest I'll get to being a trapeze artist. Doing flips and everything. That was really fun.
Can you talk a little bit about working with Lenny James and what character he plays in that movie?
I didn't have any scenes with Lenny, really, which was disappointing. He's one of my favorite parts in seeing the movie put together. I think he's just wonderful in so many movies, and we were really happy to have him.
Does he play on the side of the good side, or is he kind of on the bad side?
I don't want to give anything away.
Do you have a favorite moment or scene that you can talk about and share with the fans?
Let's see. I think the one we thought was going to be our favorite, it's kind of like far away, that smooth puree of, future events that seem like they're going to be really fun. And then there's always an up-close texture. And so for us, the up-close texture was the spacesuits, which it's more like being a giant action figure. Like they're quite hard and very heavy. It's like, your body weight practically, these huge spacesuits. And Guy and I were so excited to put them on. It's like, this scene's going to be awesome, and it's really going to be that movie magic kind of fantasy moment where you're playing this fun action character. And so we did the tests, and you have to be put into them with a drill. and it takes about 45 minutes to put them on. So we were goofing around, and I was, doing my, you have 5 seconds to comply. Our impressions of what it would be like. And then when it came time to shoot the scene, not only does it take 45 minutes to get them on, but 45 minutes to get them off. So, don't drink water. And then if you have to rest, because they're really heavy, they just kind of push you over, just kind of tilt and hang there like an action figure. So, the scene, and it was kind of this big moment in the movie where we're supposed to run off this precipice and jump off the ship, and it's this crazy momentous moment. And so they're like, okay, on action, we need you to run, and here's the green screen, here's the line, here's the ship, and you're gonna leap off the ship, and it's gonna be great. Action. And both Guy and I are clumping along like the Tin Man, and it was so anticlimactic. And we're like, oh, we're gonna have to troubleshoot this one. And I think what they ended up doing is CGing our legs underneath us, clumping along. But we look so bad running, and people make fun of my running anyway. I'm told there's a YouTube clip called Maggie Grace running. I cried after gym class. People I don't need this, but Guy was just as burdened as I was in the scene, so I felt okay about it.
Well, when you finish a movie like this where there is so much training, do you come away with new skills that you didn't expect to?
One would hope. There's definitely. That's one of my favorite things about my job. Honestly, I've gotten to, and so often too, you learn much more for the movie than they actually use. I remember I had to learn a song in French for Lost, so I learned every verse in French and started learning some French. And then, in Taken we had a scene with a horse, and we were training for proper English dressage and maybe, building up to a canter and then maybe working even into a jump or something. So, I got amazing training with horses out of that. And then, of course, in the film, it's we're walking around a yard because locations hadn't told the horse wrangler that we had, a yard to work with. So, yeah, I think with Lockout it was really fun to learn more stunt work and combat, and especially the stuff on the wires was really, really fun to shoot.
Can you talk about how it's like working with Luc? I mean, this will be your third film with him, right?
Third film
Yeah.
with Luc Besson. But it's been great. It's nice that in France it's a smaller community, and it's really lovely that everyone's known each other for so long, and it's kind of this merry little troupe, And I love working with Luc. He has so much experience in this arena, and I'm sure knows his way around an action movie, and it's so nice that he can, call some of the shots, and it's not a panel of 1,000 people that are going back and forth about it. It's really lovely that we have, his track record and expertise behind us. It's such a gift. And he's also a really sweet person, too.
Off the subject, what role in the following Taken 2 will your character be playing? I mean, how does it intertwine with the story?
It's kind of an inversion in a way. Liam and Famke's characters are taken. The plot's driven more by a private vendetta. It's not a coincidence, which I think people balked at first when they're like, Taken 2, how can it happen twice?
Right.
We just can't go on vacation. Damn it, I thought Fiji would be safe. But no, it was a really cool idea, and they really kept the elements that worked about the first one. And this one's set in Istanbul mainly, which was great as well. It really lends itself. Very cinematic city.
Cool. Were you surprised by how incredibly successful the first Taken was?
Yeah.
And how well received?
I mean, that sounds bad, but no, we had a great time making it, and obviously we hope it finds an audience, but I think, the timing of the release and, there were just lots of changing of the guard in a way, and Liam's been very honest, too, we were both hoping it was properly released, fingers crossed, that it doesn't just end up shelved somewhere. And it was so amazing that it was supported by an incredible trailer, that was really tight. And I think, I remember it was Super Bowl weekend, and I don't know anything about these things. But doesn't that mean everyone's watching the Super Bowl? Are we okay? I'm so nervous, And it was amazing. I mean, you really can't predict that kind of thing, and it's pretty crazy. Now every time I'm in an airport, somebody comes up to me and thinks that they're saying this for the first time, like, "Don't get in a taxi cab with a stranger now,"
And how is it being a part of the Twilight series?
Yeah, it's been fun. I made some of my best girlfriends on that movie, so I haven't seen the cut yet, but I hear it's great. And Bill Conn is lovely. So lucky to work with him.
How much in working in Lockout with the green screen and using your imagination as an actor, how much did you get to really flex that out in this film as opposed to some of the stuff you've done before?
Well, I mean, it's pretty. I can't even speak properly. I haven't had sleep. It's pretty, crazy to have that much trust for the communication with your directing team and just the world that they're going to create, so that you kind of match performance to what you're seeing, so that you don't look like an idiot. But luckily there's an incredible group of people there to work with, and they just created such a wonderful world. It's been amazing to see each cut as it changes and see that all.
Do you find that kind of experience helps you in other roles where you're not necessarily working on so much green screen?
I mean, it's very much a different animal, I'd say. So it's nice to have more experience in that. It's its own creature. But yeah, you just kind of have to suspend the voice in your head that you feel so silly reacting to nothing there, having whole conversations with people that aren't there sometimes. You feel a little crazy the first time around.
Do they show you the pictures and the backgrounds and of what?
Yeah, they had some beautiful art and storyboards and incredibly well prepared. I mean, they've been working together a long time and have this amazing kind of bat cave back in Dublin where they created everything. So they were able to really show us what would be there eventually. And also we had a great set built in Belgrade. So it's a few months out there, yeah.
What would you like your fans to see or to react most towards in this film? What should they anticipate?
I mean, for me, the reason I had so much fun on this movie and really enjoyed watching it, it's fun. It's unabashedly funny as well as an action film. So it's a fun night out.
So this is more like Indiana Jones a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I shy away from comparisons, but yeah, I would say it has that sense of a wry, unapologetic action hero.
And is this, you think, the type of film where a sequel is inevitable?
I don't want to jinx it. But I hope it finds its audience. I think it's a really fun movie.
And if it did go to a sequel, would you be there?
Hell yeah. Yeah. And by the way, it's Friday the 13th that it comes out, so I think that's a stroke of luck, don't you?
Maggie, when they're not throwing lines from taken at you in the airport, you ask more questions about Lost or about Twilight?
At this point, Taken, I would have to
Taken
say.
still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, it really... I never thought that would happen, that Lost would be,
Yeah.
overcome in any way, but I still get Lost questions occasionally. But for some reason, I have a lot of parents coming up to me saying that, they can really move them.
You play a lot of women in Jeopardy kind of roles, at least in film. What's the biggest draw for that?
I don't know. It's happened since I was a teenager. I remember even when I was doing TV guest stars. So I think I must have Imperil stamped across my forehead.
Do you like surprising everybody, showing you can fight back?
One of these days, I would love to. Yeah. But no, I think Lockout was more of a capable, empowered young woman, which I very much enjoyed. And even though she's not like a Nikita, she's not trained for the situation, she's certainly good under pressure and like I said, extremely capable. So that was nice.
And then, so what's up next for you after this is released?
Well, I'm in the middle of shooting something right now. I'm not supposed to talk about it. Lockout coming out in April, and then Taken 2 in October, and Twilight in November, and an indie called Decoding Annie Parker. So, yeah, we're kind of ramping up for those and finding the right fit for summer.
So
I'm
you've just been
excited.
taking it easy. You've been
Yeah.
vacationing,
Yeah,
relaxing,
just hanging
and
out,
living the life.
You know, went to Burning Man, just chilling, you know.
Okay, last question, guys.
Is there like a return to TV? It seemed like a learn to you, or is it more or less you're looking for more feature films?
You know, I love the lifestyle of features. The kind of gypsy lifestyle where I love to travel, and I think at this point in my life, it's something I want to do a lot of. But the flip side of it is, I mean, look here at WonderCon, they've got Game of Thrones. I think, you know, David Benioff's a genius, and I think sometimes in TV, creators are given a lot of creative latitude. So, you know, I certainly wouldn't rely on television. But I'm also a little commitment phobic. So that 7-year thing kind of freaks me out. But yeah, I think, you know, you
Hawaii wasn't bad.
materialize. Oh, no, I'm not knocking it at all.
Could be worse.
At all. But, you know, Loft doesn't come along every day. It was pretty original and pretty incredible experience.